Well, I thought I'd go for a bit of a ride the Savo, just a quick demo. Basically, the scoot hasn't been charged since Monday. I've just been riding in and out of town, you know, a couple of trips, 2 or 3 trips a day, the usual sort of thing. And currently it's on 57 volts. Now, the reason I'm doing this is that it's a 60 volt scooter, hence MX60. And, you know, mostly when I go for a ride, I go for a ride fully charged. But it's interesting, there's a few things that are worth talking about the scooter not being fully charged. Because, after all, quite an amount of your riding is going to be on that. So, you can probably see, based on this, how steep my driveway is. So, I figured that I'd go up this driveway, and then also up my mate's driveway, which is a bit steeper than mine. And you can see that the scooter just makes it up my driveway without too much difficulty. So this street's not real steep, but my mate's driveway's steeper than mine, but it's actually concreted. So that's kind of nice. So let's have a quick go up here. And so nearly stopped over there, pulling up, and we're doing 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Nearly hitting 20 kilometers an hour, getting to the top of his driveway. Quite a reasonable showing, all things considered. You can see how steep the driveway is. So basically, a lot of what I do often involves going up steeper hills, like this one. And, you know, from that state of charge, 57 volts, it's not bad that it keeps pulling like this. So we're doing 16 kilometers an hour up here, and this is my usual standard test. We're doing 20 kilometers an hour. Now my wide wheel would probably do a little bit more. It'd probably be like 22, 23, fully charged, not partially charged like this is. So that's pretty impressive. I reckon I've got around about another, I don't know, at least 10 kilometers of riding on a flat. And now that we're cresting the hill here, I can expect the speed to start creeping up. Yep, 21, 22, yeah. So the battery's now at a relatively low state of charge. Now we're in gear 2, and that's a useful thing because that limits my power. And I know that fully charged, it does around about 27 kilometers an hour on the flat areas, when maybe 28, maybe sometimes 29 if I've got a little tailwind, in gear 2. And now, with a slight incline, we're still pulling 21. Now, you might ask, why is that? And that's because this is a scooter, not an electric car, and so scooters don't actually produce a constant output voltage. The voltage drops down as the battery depletes, which kind of is, you know, the reason why it doesn't go as fast, you know. But so still climbing the hill here. We're about to crest on top of the hill, and it should, you know, get me up to higher speeds. The advantage of having just the 22, 23, 24. So on a flat, it's now cruising at 24, which is pretty much exactly what it was doing, you know, further down. So what's the reason why I like it having this roll-off of power? Well, one of the reasons is that you already know from looking at the various blog posts I've put up, and I'll put a link to one of them as well, that the discharge of the battery reduces the voltage over time, and it falls off fairly quickly towards the end. So what that means is that if we keep a constant voltage we'll be actually sucking the battery a lot harder to produce the same power. Pretty steep downhill here. By the way, just worth mentioning when we get to the edge here, that basically just to the right of the mower down there, that red roof, that's my roof down there. So, you know, we've had quite a climb. I've climbed the hill that's over there on the other side of town. So it's a car coming. It's important to get back to the battery, to not try and suck too much. I just don't like talking while there's a car coming. It's important to not try and suck too much out of the battery, because your last, well, let's say the last 1/3 of usable power really becomes the last 1/4 of power if we were to have a battery system that kept a constant voltage, and that'd add weight and power needs as well. So yeah. Anyway, what do we got going here? Mum and Dad out for a drive. Bloody hell. Maybe I should pass them. Oh well. I'll just cruise down without any power and see what happens. This is just all under coasting now. Now they put their brakes on. I'm now doing 34, only under gravity. 37, 39, 40, 41, 43, 44, 45. Yeah, knocking it out there at 45 kilometers an hour with nothing more than gravity helping me. So there you go. Now if I accelerate now, 30, I won't feel anything because the motor isn't spinning fast enough anymore because it doesn't have much power behind it. Now I think the cruise control's about to cut in. Yep, cruise control's cut in. Doing 25, 24 along this flat and head back up to home. So yeah, basically, well, let's not head to home. Let's go around there and see if anyone bothers giving me. So this is a pretty typical run into the shops. Still 24 kilometers an hour. You know, I could probably, well, I can change to gear 3 and get more speed out of it. So now we're doing 30 again, but that doesn't really, you know, kind of make for much of an understanding of what's happening with the battery by just draining it harder. So I often like to ride at about 25 kilometers an hour because that's the legal compliance, you know. And I live in a town and the policemen know me, and I like the fact that they don't feel like they need to be keeping an eye on me because I'm usually obeying the law, you know. It's all good. Anyway, so this is my usual run into the shops, which I've done before. Oh, here we go. Fucking classic. And get out of the car, suck on the stubby, join the other guys at the pub. Yeah, well, you know, I'll probably go to the pub later on. Anyway, so past the historical centre, and yeah, just down past the park. Anything coming? Nobody coming. That's good, because one of the things that I like to do here, which I think strictly speaking might be not right, is to just curve through here, go up a footpath. There we go. A couple of ladies coming. Ladies. Yeah. So, here we are, down at the shops. So I come down here for milk and bread and whatever else. And so, yeah, there's a glimpse of me in the windows. So I get into town maybe 2 or 3 times a day on this, all on one charge. Like I said, I haven't charged it since Sunday night. So I'll probably stick it on the charge tonight, and yeah, it'd be good for a bit of a run into Tanny Morell or something like that tomorrow. May or may not bother making a video. Anyway, it's a really nice little town to live in. If you happen to be watching this from somewhere in Queensland and you feel like coming up and having a visit, I'm sure you'll find something of interest here. If not, the gorge, which I wouldn't recommend taking your truck along now. The water's a bit high at the moment, so there you go. Anyway, yeah, I might as well sign off here as we cross the Condamine. Gee, there's no one in the pool. Very pleasant. I really like how green it is at the moment. It's good this time of year. Okay, folks. Well, see you later.